Hello everybody, this is Taff and this is a Taff's Word, but this one isn't about Newport County and it's not even about football actually. As you know, I'm proud to be from Newport. A lot of people from Newport are obviously proud to be from Newport, and obviously no more proud than one particular individual. A lot of you may hear of the statue campaign for David Pearce. He was a proud Newport guy, and he was a fantastic heavyweight and cruiserweight boxer. He was basically. I got all my bio here. I'm going to talk a little bit about David Pearce, the boxer, for now. Obviously, he was nicknamed Bomber, and more lately had been nicknamed Newport's Rocky. He was born on the 8th of May 1959 and resided in Pill in Newport. Unfortunately, we lost David on the 20th of May in 2000 through sudden adult death syndrome. Unfortunately, his career was cut short after he developed epilepsy after his last fight, which was against, I think it was Pearce Davis in Michigan in the USA. So, within his career, he was renowned. He beat the following, who were very popular boxers, by knockout. He beat Neville Mead, he beat John Tate, he beat Gordon Ferris, and he beat Dennis Andrees. His boxing record was 18 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. 13 of those wins were by knockout. So within his career, he accomplished a lot, obviously. And in a time that was difficult for boxers to win a world title, there was only one heavyweight title out there for you at the time. And it seemed as though Larry Holmes was the man who held that title for a lot of the time that David was boxing. But he won the Welsh and British heavyweight title in September 1983. He had to relinquish his Welsh title holding because of the commitments to holding the British title. That was when he beat Neville Mead. He won the European title against Lucien Rodriguez in Limoges, I think that's how you pronounce it. He was then ranked 7th in the world. And what's significant about that particular fight is that he actually slept on a park bench the night before. He beat Michael Jack Johnson by knockout to then go 3rd in the world, and was due to fight Buster Douglas. Now, who remembers Buster Douglas? He was the one that obviously incurred Mike Tyson's first ever loss by knockout. A 42 to 1 shot as well he was for that fight. And David was meant to fight him in Columbus, Ohio, but for some reason the fight got cancelled with just 3 hours notice. Apparently David was doing his warm-up before that fight, or basically doing his warm-up ready for that fight. A few facts about David as well. Box Nation, a guy called Steve Lillis, voted him in his top 10 for the top 10 underrated British boxers of all time. He was also, here's a pretty nifty fact, he actually boxed in the last ever 15-round British Championship fight. So David Pearce's fight, he fought in the last ever 15-round before he got cut down to 12. Also, he was due to fight for the WBA cruiserweight title before his career was cut short. I think somewhere throughout his career, he obviously made the drop down in weight to cruiserweight from heavyweight. I think that's the right way around. I'm not a big boxing fan, if I'm being perfectly honest. I watch a few fights. I don't quite know exactly how all the weights go, but I think I might have got that one right. Here's something quite interesting. He always gave at least 2 stone to his opponents. Most of his opponents throughout his career. He won 2 heavyweight prize fighter tournaments. He actually sparred with Lennox Lewis before Lennox Lewis went on to win the heavyweight title. He used to run the steps of the Transporter Bridge in Newport to train. And that's an interesting one, obviously. And obviously, the statue of him is due to be located on the riverfront opposite Friars Walk. I picked up some really nifty quotes here, and there's one from David himself after he won the British title. He said, "I've never trained so hard in my life. That was for my father, the people of Newport, and also for myself." That was him after he won the British title. Frank Maloney said they don't make them like him anymore. Pearce would have fought anybody. Eddie Avoth, one of the greatest Welsh fighters we've ever produced. Charles Bronson, even. Dave Pearce was a legend, a true hard man. And Lee Selby, Dave Pearce was one hell of a fighter. There's many more like it. Look up his Wikipedia page and tell you now there was some great stuff on there. Absolutely great stuff on there. So I think that there gives a real indication of Dave Pearce as a boxer, as a proud person from Newport. I mean, obviously there's pictures of him, running the lap of Somerton Park out there. I mean, as it turns out, it's something I didn't even know. Even my own father was a good friend of David Pearce, and apparently used to train with him. Something I never knew until I started speaking to my dad about him. As I say, unfortunately, we lost David in the year 2000, not long after his 41st birthday. And it's such a shame to lose people, lose anybody, but for such a true legend of Newport to be taken, so soon in his life. Imagine the sort of things he could be doing like right now for Newport. The sort of spokesperson he could be for things like the county and the community today, because you could tell he absolutely adored Newport. He loved Newport. He's quoting to say that winning titles, he did it for the people of Newport. So it's great now that the people of Newport are rallying together to honour him in such a way. And obviously Luke Pearce is front running the campaign to raise the money, and they've raised so far £55,000. I mean, you look at things like the park bench before his European title fight. Obviously, the guys did that. I know people who took part in that fundraising thing. I mean, they've had all different kinds of nights in the Neon. They've done all sorts to raise this money, and they're only £3,000 away. So anybody who can give anything or give any ideas to help get the guys over the line on this one, I'm sure it'd be greatly appreciated. And I'll tell you something, there's not a lot in Newport right now, other than like the county doing pretty well at the moment, one or two other little things that we can really look at, something that we can see every day and say, look, I'm really proud of this. This really makes me proud to be from Newport. I mean, Dave Pearce has been nicknamed Newport's own Rocky. So, how proud would you be to actually have, a boxer who's been rated so highly, from Newport, there for you to see every single day, a statue. I mean, this is the sort of thing that could give Newport global recognition. I mean, boxing is a global sport. Dave Pearce was a well-known heavyweight boxer, and Dave Pearce was from Newport. I mean, what these guys are doing to get this statue up is absolutely brilliant. And obviously, they're all proud to be from Newport as well. They think the world of this city, as did David, as do I. So I really hope that you guys can help us push this over the line now. And basically, as David said, he did it for the people of Newport, and now the statue to honour him, the people of Newport are going to do it for you. Rest in peace, you absolute legend, and I can't wait to see your statue up there. And Luke, keep up the good work, mate. You're doing fantastic. And the people of Newport, it's something for you to finally take pride in. Awesome. All right then, I'll leave that one there now, and hopefully this will help at least a little bit to push this further on. So thank you all for watching, and the county ones will be coming back soon enough, don't you worry. We actually won a game, so there's nothing negative to talk about. But there we go. Dave Pearce, can't wait to see the statue. Cheers guys, cheerio for now.